Look at the back of your upper arm. Go ahead, take a look. If you see skin that hangs, skin that wobbles when you wave, skin that was not there 10 years ago, you have probably assumed the same thing most people assume. That is just fat. That is what aging looks like. Nothing I can do about it now. But here is what most people do not know. The vast majority of saggy arm skin in seniors is not fat, not primarily fat. It is something completely different. And once you understand what it actually is, the fix becomes much clearer, much more achievable. And it does not require surgery or miracle creams or spending any money at all. Stay until the end, because the last thing we share today is the one most people skip, and it is the one that makes the biggest visible difference. Welcome back. Today we are talking about something that bothers millions of seniors every single day. That loose skin at the back of the upper arm, sometimes called bat wings, sometimes called bingo wings. Whatever you call it, it is real. It bothers you, and you deserve to understand what is actually causing it. Because most people are trying to fix the wrong thing. So if it is not primarily fat, what is it? The answer is muscle loss. Specifically, loss of the tricep muscle, the large muscle that runs along the back of the upper arm. When this muscle is strong and full, it fills out the skin. The arm looks toned and firm. The skin sits smoothly over the muscle beneath. But when the muscle loses mass, which it does, gradually, from our 40s onward, and faster after 60, the skin no longer has the same structure underneath it to support it. The skin does not shrink back. Skin does not shrink, particularly after 60 when skin elasticity has already reduced. So the skin that used to sit over a larger, fuller muscle now hangs. That hanging skin looks like fat. It moves like fat. It feels soft like fat. But underneath it, there is not an excess of fat cells. There is a deficit of muscle. And that distinction changes everything. Because fat responds to diet. Muscle responds to movement. If you have been trying to diet your way out of saggy arms, you have been addressing the wrong cause. Why does the tricep muscle specifically lose mass so quickly? Think about your daily life. How often do you push something away from you? How often do you extend your arm fully against resistance? How often do you use the back of your arm in a way that requires effort? For most seniors, the honest answer is almost never. You lift things toward you. You pull yourself up from chairs using your arms bent. You carry things with bent elbows. The tricep, which straightens the arm, gets almost no meaningful work in daily life. And muscle that is not worked is muscle that is lost. Gradually, quietly, over years. This is why the back of the arm changes so noticeably. It is one of the most underused muscle groups in a typical senior's daily movement. And it shows. The second cause is skin elasticity. Even with perfect muscle mass, skin that has lost elasticity will not sit as firmly as it once did. Skin elasticity depends on two proteins, collagen and elastin. Both decline with age. Both decline faster with sun exposure, dehydration, smoking, and poor nutrition. After 60, skin simply cannot snap back the way it used to after any change in the body beneath it, whether that change is weight loss, muscle loss, or both. This does not mean the skin cannot improve. It means the most important thing to address is what is underneath the skin, the muscle. Because a stronger, fuller tricep will push that skin outward and create a firmer appearance, regardless of the skin's own elasticity. The third cause is the fat distribution change with age. Here is where fat does play a role, but not in the way most people think. As estrogen levels drop in women after menopause, and testosterone declines in men, the body shifts where it stores fat. Specifically, fat tends to accumulate more in the upper arms, the abdomen, and around the hips, while other areas lose fat. So there is some increase in fat deposits in the upper arm with age, but this accounts for a minority of the visible change. The primary driver is still the loss of muscle beneath the skin. If someone addresses only the fat through diet, they may lose some arm size, but the skin will hang more because the muscle supporting it is still weak and small. The arm can actually look worse after weight loss if the muscle is not simultaneously being rebuilt. This is why exercise is not optional for this problem. It is the primary treatment. Now let us talk about what actually works. 4 movements, done 3 to 4 times a week. No gym required. Most can be done at home with little or no equipment. Movement 1. Wall push-ups. Stand facing a wall. Place both hands on the wall at shoulder height and shoulder width apart. Slowly bend your elbows and bring your chest toward the wall. Then push back to the start position. This works both the chest and the tricep. The tricep specifically is engaged in that pushing motion, the arm straightening against resistance. Start with 10. Build to 20 over several weeks. When 20 feels easy, step further from the wall to increase the angle and the resistance. This is the safest, most accessible tricep exercise for seniors. No equipment, no risk, and highly effective when done consistently. Movement 2. Chair dips. Sit on the edge of a firm chair. Place both hands on the edge of the seat beside your hips, fingers pointing forward. Slowly lower your bottom off the edge of the chair a few inches by bending the elbows. Then push back up. You do not need to go very low. Even a small range of motion places significant work on the tricep. Start with 5. This one feels harder than it looks. Build to 15 over several weeks. Chair dips are one of the most effective bodyweight tricep exercises available, and they require nothing more than any firm chair. Movement 3. Overhead arm extensions with a light weight. Hold one light weight, a small water bottle, a tin of beans, a light dumbbell, in both hands. Raise it overhead, then slowly lower it behind your head by bending the elbows, then press back up to straight. This is the overhead tricep extension, and it works the long head of the tricep, the part that creates the most visible fullness at the back of the arm. The weight does not need to be heavy. A 500 milliliter water bottle is enough to begin with. The movement and the repetition matter more than the weight. Do 10 to 15 repetitions, 3 sets. Movement 4. Tricep kickbacks. Stand with a light weight in one hand. Lean slightly forward from the hips. Keep your upper arm close to your body and pressed against your side. From the bent elbow position, straighten the arm behind you fully, then bend it back. That straightening motion is the tricep firing. The full extension at the end, holding for 1 second at the top, is where the most work happens. Do 12 repetitions on each side. This exercise specifically targets the shape and definition of the back of the arm. Women in particular find this one produces visible results relatively quickly. Beyond exercise, 3 things that support the process. Protein. The muscle cannot rebuild without adequate protein. Many seniors eat too little protein, particularly at breakfast. Add eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or smoked salmon to your breakfast. This gives the muscle-building process the raw material it needs to work from. Water. Hydrated skin looks and behaves differently from dehydrated skin. Better hydrated skin has more elasticity, more plumpness, and improves the visual appearance of any area being worked on. Drink 6 to 8 glasses a day. Consistency over intensity. The arms will not change in 2 weeks, but in 8 weeks of consistent work, 3 to 4 sessions per week, the change is visible. In 12 weeks, it is significant. The people who do not see results are almost always the people who tried for 2 weeks, did not see instant transformation, and stopped. This is not a 2-week project. It is a 12-week project, and the results at 12 weeks are real. Before we finish, the reassurance. Saggy arms after 60 are extremely common. They are not a sign of poor health or poor choices. They are a sign that a specific muscle has not been worked in a way that maintains it, and that the body has aged in the way bodies age. But this is one of the most responsive areas to targeted exercise in the entire body. The tricep, when worked consistently, responds and grows at any age. The improvement in the appearance of the arm follows directly. You do not need surgery. You do not need expensive creams. You do not need to be young. You need a wall, a chair, and a water bottle. And 12 weeks of consistency. That is genuinely all. Today we covered why arms go saggy after 60. Primarily muscle loss, not fat. Specifically loss of the tricep muscle from years of underuse, combined with reduced skin elasticity and some age-related fat redistribution. And 4 movements that directly rebuild the tricep and improve the appearance of the arm. Wall push-ups, chair dips, overhead extensions, tricep kickbacks, plus 3 things that support the process: protein, water, and consistency over 12 weeks. Share this with someone who waves and then looks at the back of their arm with a sigh. They need to watch this today. Subscribe for a new simple health video every week, made just for you. We will see you next time.